And we are recording. Welcome, everyone. This is your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly sponsored by Inkforged. This is a fantasy role playing game of high detail but very easy to play. You can imbue your weapons and gear with magically charged ink. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly sponsored by Dead Studios, the publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop RPG where you play as monster girls experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have recently released Daughters of Lamb, a pay-what-you-want tabletop RPG where you play as cybernetic nuns with guns that look for the missing pieces of their AI god. You will find it in their website. The links will be in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly sponsored by the Red Room Publishing. Please check out their store for exclusive tabletop RPG products. They have recently released New Flesh, a future noir tabletop RPG where cyberpunk meets biological horror. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment too. Now take a look at this promo for one of the Red Room Publishing's settings. A moment, please. Sometimes StreamYard gets a bit... Oh, here it is. Check this out. If you are looking for that sort of samurai action, definitely consider it Samurai Ninja Japan, using the Wretched system, which is free to download, the Wretched role-playing game. But today's focus is Oddity High. This is an anime-inspired tabletop RPG powered by the apocalypse. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time, we are going to talk about negative moves and breakdowns. Here we go. Negative moves. Negative moves are special in that they are one of the few cases where rolling hits is worse for the players than rolling misses. Your two negative moves are juggle your obligations and have a public breakdown. Let's talk about juggle your obligations. When time passes and life comes calling, you roll plus your total obligation. On a hit, something in your life, a club, your other life, your grades, family, etc., hasn't been adequately tended to. On a 7 to 9, it's a mild lapse. On a 10 or more, the lead writer, that is the game master, and the consequences are serious. He applies some harsh repercussions, perhaps a tough conversation, or even more obligations to deal with. When it comes to having a public breakdown, there are two ways this can happen. The first is accruing too much stress. If any of the following are true, the lead writer holds one. The lead writer can spend that hold at any point to force you to have your breakdown. Maybe you are wounded and you take another blow or otherwise would be wounded unexpectedly. Maybe you would take a fourth strong condition. Maybe you have 6 weak conditions and would take another condition. Maybe your obligation is at A plus 4. Maybe you experienced something so horrible, so traumatizing that you cannot break down. That is, you cannot avoid it. The second way to have a public breakdown is to do so on your own terms. You describe how the current conditions are too much for you and how you or your body is going to react. This is a bit of a meta mechanic. It is unconventional when compared to standard tabletop RPGs. Now let's talk more about these breakdowns. When you are broken down. A public breakdown is a major affair by necessity. They can be the sort of thing that everyone in the school talks about, at least for a day or two. Something that fundamentally alters the dynamics between you and the rest of the gang, or both. Ultimately, a public breakdown is a moment of catharsis. A good breakdown is the culmination of everything that's been building up since the moment things started going badly for the character that's having one. On the lead writer's side, this is the time for them to be at their most vicious. As a note, the option to inflict a public breakdown as the result of trauma or horror does not mean that you can simply, as a game master, as a lead writer, you cannot just dump unspeakable horrors on a player character and trigger a public breakdown on a whim. It has to make sense with the context. There are other examples and options for the public breakdowns. For example, it leaves you hurting, or maybe a nasty rumor takes hold for too long. Maybe the breakdown leaves some scars, physical or mental scars. Maybe you drive others away, and these are just a few of the examples in which things could proceed. You're even given examples of anime and video games, such as Persona 5, the melancholy, of course, of Haruhi Suzumiya. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part, we are going to talk about playbooks. So, when it comes to these breakdowns, and this is quite common in video games and anime, the character cannot handle his or her emotions. So many things happen, or very impactful, significant events occur. And then they perhaps stop socializing, they get withdrawn, they end up messing up in unexpected ways. This is part of the drama and part of the spice and character development of working through those breakdowns. So I think this is highly thematic, excellent for this anime-inspired tabletop RPG. Thank you for watching this part of the review. A moment, please. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member or using the super thanks button. You can also check out the information in the description and in the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. And remember, master roleplay and you will master the game. Once again, thank you and see you later.